Good evening and welcome to Flat Earth United Shills edition. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you get updates of the latest videos on Nathan Oakley 1980. I am joined via Skype by Zoe Scribner and by Stephen Chess. Would you want to say hello, guys? How are you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Hello to you too. So yes, the reason for this show, which is going to be a relaxed one, hence it being done via Skype, is to talk about a slightly disheartening issue which I've kind of ignored but kind of had the inkling to know what the lowdown was without doing any investigation. But since a couple of other potatoes have been looking into this subject, I've kind of got suckered in and started looking into it too. And then call it synchronicity if you will, somebody a couple of days ago shared a link on one of my videos to cut and dry evidence that a specific YouTuber was buying subs and how they bought them, how much they cost, and it was a bit disappointing. But it made me rethink the whole concept of what a lot of flat earthers get labelled, which is a shill. And what is a shill? Well, in the most literal terms, a shill would be somebody who goes up to the stand of a Find the Lady player on the beachfront and stands there making it seem like there's somebody paying attention. So if I give you two different scenarios, you walk along the beachfront and you see a singular guy with a table in front of him and 3-card Monty or Find the Lady, whatever you call it, and he's shouting about how wonderful his game is and trying to entice you to join. There's a good chance that you will walk on by. Now, second scenario, you walk down the same beachfront and you see a crowd of around 40 or 50 people, all screaming, holding dollar bills or pound notes, whatever you prefer, and screaming to play this game. There's a good chance you'll be more interested in looking at least at what the game is, and by the time you make it your way to the front of the crowd, you see that it's 3-card Monty, the excitement level builds, and you hopefully play the game. Now, every one of those people, if they are, of course, paid by the person hosting the game, is a quote-unquote shill. The idea being that the people surrounding the table demonstrate interest, and therefore you will be suckered in and also be interested. And knowing now that there are people out there that literally buy subs, this is something I can't really ignore, they are the real shills of YouTube. So when you come along to a channel and it has 1 subscriber, there's a reasonable chance that you will appreciate that that person has not built any credibility, that hasn't built any reputation, and therefore you may not watch that particular person's video. And knowing full well as a YouTuber who's built his channel up from 0 subscribers and 0 views, it does take quite a lot of momentum to eventually, get that snowball rolling so that it does build a few subscribers. Endless videos that are under 100 views, and any new videographer on YouTube will appreciate this, that it does take quite some effort to get your subscriber base established. So, were you to come to that same videographer who has 1 subscriber and you walk on by as he has no reputation, and you see that that person has purchased 1,000 subscribers, obviously unbeknownst to you, you may very well watch if that person has got a video that has a clickable title, where you may not have before, assuming that it's just clickbait by a poor quality videographer. So shills are the people standing around pretending to be interested in a game in real life, and on YouTube they are the numbers in the subscriber counts that are next to any particular video. The same thing unfortunately applies to views. So on these sites, I did write down the name of one of them, which I'll grab now. One was called, if I can pronounce this right, CO Clerks, a site that offers all sorts of services, kind of like a Fiverr type site, but many of the people who participate in that site offer services like 49 subscribers for only $1, or Instagram followers, half a dozen for $1, etc, etc, etc. The list goes on. Likes on YouTube and all the rest of these things are just services that you can pay for by the dollar. And it saddens me because we as flat earthers specifically are here to promote truth. that is the first and foremost. Yes, obviously I monetize my channel and wish to make money from it. Anybody who lives in society requires cash. This is an unfortunate truth. It may not be in the future, in a utopia that we all envisage. However, it's still the system that we work in. We all require cash. However, I'm not prepared personally to jeopardize my credibility by being in a position where somebody could investigate me and find that I am literally being fraudulent with the amount of subscribers that are actually on my channel. So this being said, it's been discussed amongst certain other people who I won't name, and indeed I'm not going to name the specifics of the person that proved this to me beyond any reasonable doubt, because it's not necessary. I'm not here to necessarily prove this to my audience. Feel free to go and investigate this yourselves. If you're a follower of the channel, you will have seen me in interviews with people like 4D4M or Adam Dwyer, where we have discussed this very subject, and you can kind of see the road that I have gone along to reach these conclusions. However, I've never been in a position until today to say categorically, yes, this is how you buy subs, this is where you buy subs, and unfortunately this is who buys subs. So why the big concern? Credibility. If you are to come to a position where you're punting an idea, then if your idea is to have validity, you must, at least to a certain extent, have credibility. And as I said earlier, if you're going to present yourself as a more popular YouTuber, for many, they may not care in many areas of YouTube. If that's how you play the game to gain your subscriber count, then many would say, so be it, fair play, that's your prerogative. However, we're in a truth arena, and this isn't necessarily the best road forward. As I say, if you were to investigate and find that somebody is basically frauding their figures, frauding their live views, frauding their view counts and their subscribers. So that's pretty much my rant over. Anything you two guys I've got you here for support. Anything you want to add to that particularly?
Well, yeah, it's just it's nice to find out that, okay, that, wow, I mean, so this is how you can gauge if someone is to be trusted or not. Just look at their channel and the difference between views and likes and or sudden increases in likes and sudden increases in views to a channel that doesn't have very many subscribers necessarily, or suddenly gets 1,000 subscribers overnight. You know, that just does not happen, you know, unless, I mean, you're a channel with, I don't know, besides the point. I find it disturbing that people are willing to have such little self-respect and have such little respect for others. I mean, I know, like, yeah, we all know that it's all for the money, but seriously? On YouTube? I mean, what? Get a life? It's just not cool.
I mean, we had this conversation earlier, which was to say, is it really about the money? And I know, Stephen, you were like, yeah, that's all it's about. But I see it as just being about vanity. In other words, if you see other YouTubers who have more subscribers, or let's put it in terms that are actually quantifiable. So a popular YouTuber has 10,000 subscribers. So therefore, most people would want to get to that stage where they would be considered popular. But it just seems so hollow if the people aren't real.
That's what it is, very hollow. That's why it's so sad. Because there's already this distrust in the community. And sadly enough also, I mean, this is not just the Flat Earth community. This is all over YouTube. And people accusing others of being dishonest, and people accusing others of shilling, even for innocent channels like something to do with paint. I mean, painting, you know, it's not even just in the truther community. It's everywhere. It doesn't matter what the video is about, what the channel is about. It's in every community. People buying subs, but also people accusing others of being shills, where it's not rightful. And that's why, you know, it seems to be such a paranoid. People are so extra paranoid, you know, more than usual. Instead of using their discernment And using a tool like that, looking at, something more physical in quotation marks than just an idea of someone, making stories up about people. That's a big difference. You can take something physical and say, okay, what are the subs? What are the likes? What are the views? It's.
Do you agree with my analogy in terms of if I was to be labelled a shill, it's like at the very least call me a con man. I'd be the guy behind the desk.
Yeah.
A shill would be the fake subs. They're the shills, the fake bots, the fake viewers, the fake view counts, and that's what I see as a shill. At least get the terminology right. Con man, come on.
Yeah. No, we put it a little into cotton, made it look pretty, because it's way more cool to be called a shill, like in a spy game, being a con man, that's kind of low.
This kind of I'm being facetious, but I'm saying
no, you're right. It's just that to make it more attractive, to even have on your lips the word shill, it's because you enjoy being in your own little spy game, like I always say.
Sure.
So what all this distracts from is the people who are actually putting out good information and not buying subs, in contrast to the people who are buying subs and maybe they're not putting out the best information, but they're popular because they're doing so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big disappointment, as I said at the beginning of the show. Before now, what I would be presented with was things like trends in Social Blade. So this is something that anybody can do if you want to get an idea. It's not as good as having the individual chatting to a person who sells subs. But other than that, you can track trends. You can see who consistently will get subs and how quickly they get them. And sort of massive leaps and anomalies like subs going massively down by huge numbers and then jumping back up again. Weird things like that. You can sort of spot where I assume, or we collectively, I should say, we have all discussed this, assume that this is where the people who are selling the services of their 50 subs for $1 can withdraw them, if you don't continue to pay. I would assume that's the, if you're going to be a shady character, expect to deal with shady people. So would you guys agree? Is my assumption the same as your assumption?
Exactly, yes. I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, bro.
We
down with that.
To some of the people in the chat room. May as well. We've got a reasonable audience. Let's say hello. We've got Physics Warrior, Tim Osman, in quotes, Marie. Good to see you all. Ian Tinsley. Hori Sheet Show, who was formerly on one of the shows. Last show, I think it was. And Headlines Debunked. 2 former guests chatting right after each other. Happy days. Good to see you both.
The Astral Thief is saying, you're distracting from the subject matter. Fuck subs, spread the word instead, people.
Well, I'll address that. I mean,
the subject matter is shills.
The subject matter is shills. And the reason I'm on my high horse about this, and this is a beef I've had with other specific flat earthers, again, who will remain nameless. I'm not here to cause drama. I'm trying to make a point. And my point is about credibility. In the case of the person I found out, I'm not going to mention him, I will unsubscribe and no longer promote them. And, if push came to shove, I may be pointing out to somebody that they are frauding their views. And that's fine for now because I can just, disclose that where necessary. But for going forward, I'll only use me as an example because it's unfair to anybody. Let's say I gain 100,000 subscribers in the next year. Doubtful, let's be honest. But let's say I did. And then I'm putting out some absolutely amazing flat earth proofs that, absolutely obliterate the globe. Sun tracking all over again, a completely new concept like that. And it just destroys the globe. Even though I would consider the sun tracking to have done that already, under my breath. But there we go. Something like that comes on and it massively bolsters my popularity. Then somebody comes along and goes, I've got proof that Nathan Oakley has bought 100,000 subscribers. Any information from there on in is going to be discredited, is going to be considered.
Yeah, exactly. It ruins your credibility
Exactly. So that's why it's an issue. It's relevant in the truth arena. If we're here for truth, we shouldn't be frauds. Simple as that.
No.
You're right, but it's not relevant to me because those people are like people who I don't watch.
Fair point. There's lots of channels I've recently unsubscribed from for, various different reasons, not necessarily because they're faking subscribers. It's just one of those. But you would hope most people wouldn't put their vanity first. They'd put the truth first. And staying squeaky clean is what it's all about.
Mm.
I don't know.
But that's where the self-respect comes in. I mean, if you lower yourself to cheat to get recognition, then, your recognition is not true recognition anyway, but you're willing to sell yourself for that. And it's just pitiful. At the same time being incredible. What is it? Incredulity? I don't know what the word is.
As in not credible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wondered that. Incredible. That is the correct word, isn't it?
Yeah, you would think so.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's credible or it's incredible. But there's also that word credulous. I'll have to look that up.
We'll look up some etymologies. I'll keep on saying hello to a few people in chat. The Astral Thief.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Good to see you. LB Illustrations, good to have you here. Arwin, pleased to see you. Lee Harvey Hitler, hello. I missed anybody, probably. Sean G, Flat Earth Crush, Dan W. Good to have you all here. Opening Pandora's Box.
Okay, credulity is a tendency to be too ready to believe that something is real or true. Gullible, naivety, blind faith, trustfulness, innocence, ingenuousness. I didn't know that was a word. Unworldliness, lack of experience, lack of sophistication, guilelessness, greenness, callowness, childlikeness, simpleness, simplicity, ignorance. Moneylenders prey upon their credulity and inexperience. So now we know what credulity means.
A couple last shout-outs. So we got Joven Trendmaker, and there was one other that I missed. I'm sure there was. That might be it. Good to have you all here, all the same.
Hello, chat.
Hello, chat. Yes. So, I don't know. It's not particularly anything controversial going on in the chat. Few people calling me crazy eyes and a few other insults. Other than that, nothing particularly exciting to discuss. No one's contradicting us or disagreeing, which is always a shame. I can see. I'm scrolling back through to see if there's anybody being contrarian in there. I can't see anybody disagreeing particularly, which is always nice. Corey Shake Show. Hold on, let's just read out this comment. It's a personal challenge of mine not to get fake views/subs, but I'm considering it because I want my stuff seen. And by buying subs or views, you will rank your stuff better and it gets seen. Yes, but if you put out a wonderful flat earth proof and then a year from now someone comes along and says, this person's a fraud, they have bought subs, that ruins your credibility. So I understand for any other arena in YouTube, if I was making hi-fi videos, I'll give a better example. There's a channel that seems to come up when you type in flat earth and click live. That's a ski resort. Now, you go into this ski resort and it has 50 to 100 people viewing. Nobody is viewing it in reality. It's just view bots. And you understand why. If you were to go to that ski resort and think, I just wonder what their live stream looks like of their lovely slope and facilities. You go in there, 0 watching. It doesn't look very good. However, they're in business, being a bit dishonest. So be it. That's the game they play on YouTube. And seeming unpopular to a ski resort, I can totally get it. I wouldn't hold it against them. I still look and laugh because I know the score. But for me to do it, for me to have 100 people in this chat when there's probably, I don't normally mention the view figures, 40 people watching. Well, if there's 40 people watching and it says 140 people watching, obviously that's going to entice people to come and watch it more. But in reality, I was watching a chap yesterday who does car rebuilds. He buys salvage cars and redoes them up. And he's got 30,000 subscribers. I can't even remember his channel name to promote him. I'm really sorry. Not that he's going to be watching this. But he had 50 people in his live stream. He's out, he's just had the hurricane, he's got the hurricane in his title, it's all clickbaited up. He had 50 people of 30,000 subscribers. So to get the viewing figures we got originally, or I got originally doing Flat Earth shows when there was no one around other than Patricia doing it, handful of other people doing live streams, getting 200 people at the time I thought was the norm. Of course not. We were in a very, very, very niche section of the internet, and I'm very proud that some of my shows got 200 plus live viewers. Now, there's loads more people producing content. If I was to look through now and have a look at Flat Earth and see what's actually coming up live, and see what this stream is up against, happy days, there's loads to choose from. You know, there's Beyond the Imaginary Curve, ODD, Celebrate Truth, Infinite Plane Society, me, Spaceman, Poncho Pete, and then the NASA stuff. You Are Brainwashed. No, it goes on. FPV Angel, Earth Discernment, Earth Discussions, bit of a hater channel, still Flat Earth related. You know, that's probably about it. Other than dozens and dozens and dozens of fake NASA space feeds. But yeah, there's loads to choose from. So what a wonderful time to be, where you can actually type in Flat Earth, click the live button and have choice. That's amazing, you know. But that doesn't mean for 1 second that I would even dream of slapping 100 bots onto my channel just to seem more popular. It is pathetic, in my humble opinion.
Yes. It is pathetic. That's what I mean. Pitiful. So
Pitiful.
yeah, it's just dishonest. It's just plain dishonest, and you can't really discuss it. I mean, you can't really argue that.
Indeed you do. I intended this to be about a 10 or 15 minute stream, so how long are we up to? Oh, 21 minutes. We've had a fair bit of discussion about this. Before the show, I was saying, let's get a few notes down, because that's about 3 minutes of content. You know, talking about it 20 minutes later. Not bad at all. Very good. At least the information's there. Shills are the fake views and fake subs and fake live viewers in the streams, and not the individuals actually producing content. They're just people. Anyway, yeah. I think we'll round it out there. Was there anything you guys wanted to add before I ended the show?
I'm good.
No, sir.
You good, Stephen?
No, sir.
I think that
Bye,
was,
Jack.
I think that was an all good. Okay, well, with that, I will say a massive thank you, of course, to our live audience. First and foremost, thank you very much for being here. As I said at the beginning, if you're new, click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you get updates on the show. A massive thank you to, first of all, Zoe Scribner. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And a thank you to Stephen Chess also. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, man. Peace.
I've been Nathan Oakley. I shall see you all in the next video.